My name is Ricardo Albuquerque, and today I am host of the Social Review with one of the most interesting topics on the internet, online trolling. But first, if you're not familiar with trolling, let's define what it is. It is a context-based activity, so there's various definitions. But according to one of our favorite researchers, Morrissey and Yell from the 2016 study, Performative Trolling, Subansky, Gillard, Dodson, and the Nature of the Utterance, they said that trolling is an activity that tries to elicit some sort of a reaction, usually exaggerated or negative. Trolling itself is usually malicious as well. There are various types of trolling, but they're all defined differently because it's such a subjective concept. Concept coined by Bruns in the 2008 book, Blogs, Wikipedia, Second Life, and Beyond. From production to producage. But what is producage? Someone's doing a lot of online activity where many participants can directly contribute or simply observe. This is usually done in niche sites, for example like 4chan, where there's lots of memes, and each group creates or observes them, which makes it highly inclusive as well, despite accepting people from all types of backgrounds. Now, how does this relate to trolling, you might ask? Well, trolling itself is a form of producage. It's like graffiti. When you leave graffiti on the wall, people can paint over it or next to it, or they can just simply observe it. Trolling exists because the new internet is based on producage.
Two YouTubers who have recently feuded and have extremely passionate fan bases are RiceGum and iDubbbz. iDubbbz posted a video calling out RiceGum for different things on YouTube and essentially tried to ruin his brand. This caused iDubbbz's fan base to go nuts and start trolling RiceGum's videos with leaving dislikes, hateful comments, to the point that it actually tarnished RiceGum's brand, and he began losing subscribers despite being one of the fastest growing YouTube channels. This just demonstrates the power of trolling, and we can clearly see that indicated on the Social Blade charts as well.
So you might be wondering, why does trolling happen? As I mentioned earlier, it is a context-based activity, but there have been three particular factors that have been across all the readings and research I have done for this segment that pop out as to why trolling happens. I'm going to throw it off to Professor R to give you more. Hello everybody, and today we will be talking about the three factors of why trolling occurs, as of course theorized through sociological means. Now, we'll start off with anonymity. Let me explain. Well, online this applies where people can create fake accounts, and even on their real accounts they can't necessarily be identified. So they feel powerful enough to troll without really feeling guilty because there aren't any significant consequences besides the reactions they are viewing. An interesting study in 2016 by Morrissey and Yell titled Performative Trolling. Well, essentially, it involved the anonymous trolling of a popular New Zealand TV personality, Charlotte Dawson. She was on social media and couldn't really separate her private and public life because of always being connected. This led to her attempted suicide as people said many vile things and criticized her work 24/7. On to the next factor, provocation. This is seen as really the most common reason why trolling occurs. You're trying to elicit a reaction and trying to get some sort of rush of adrenaline from making someone perhaps angry or sad. The 2002 study by Herring, Jobslutter, Scheckler, and Barab titled Searching for Safety, Managing Trolling in a Feminist Forum, they viewed the lives of online admins in the feminist forums and how they dealt with trolling and how they limited from a healthy discussion to just downright hate. The difference between the two is very difficult because trolls go on these forums to say things and elicit reactions from the people that support the feminist movement in order to tarnish the feminist name and brand itself, for people to see that as evidence as to why feminists are too sensitive or they're not really about equality. Now, this type of trolling is directly fueled by trying to provoke, but it is also fueled by hateful ideology. So provocation is one of the factors, but the motivation, as in the reason to provoke someone, can vary a lot. Factor, peer influence. Basically, when you're in an online community, you're encouraged to participate in groupthink, which is when you do activities because your peers are engaging in them. When a community becomes enraged and they're passionate about a certain idol, for example, followers of popular YouTubers, as RiceGum previously mentioned in the video, They have a common goal, they have a common reasoning to engage in trolling. This was also observed in the Luis Gonzalez and Kaufman study in 2012, titled The Study on Social Selection and Peer Influence in an Online Network. This examined Facebook activity between people becoming friends and how long they maintain their friendships. This relates to trolling because people usually go together with others who have similar interests, activities. Particularly interesting was that the study found people maintained friends who they shared similar tastes with in art forms, including videos, music, and other types of media. Now, thank you so much to Professor R for participating in our show today. Now, I'm going to talk to you about how trolling translates to real life. It does transcend the online boundary. Here's a quick example of a video. You might be wondering, besides what trolling is, how it happened, and the motivators before why people do it, there's also a societal motivator and reason for why trolling occurs. And that's explained by the concept of technological determinism. It was defined by Lindgren in the book Cyber Debates, Digital Media and Society in 2017. Essentially, it's the concept that the design of technology shapes our social structure and values. Furthermore, technology's design influences the behaviors of individuals. So, even emerging technologies can really establish behaviors. This is why, related to trolling, we can really confidently say that trolling is happening because of the internet's anything goes design. It is an open space, so people feel free to do what they want with it. There was a study also by McCusker and Anthony in 2013 titled Social Selection and Peer Influence in an Online Social Network, where trolling was used in a cultural and geographic context. Again, people used it to shift their culture by going on religious discussions and saying how religious impedes the scientific movement and the progress of their country thereby. All right, guys, time to get up close and personal. So, the readings that we have done and the research behind it, along with that technological determinist view, would strongly suggest that technology is controlling how people behave, even on an individual level. So due to the openness of online social platforms, fanatical fans of these internet icons utilize trolling because it is most effective when performed as a community activity. It is perceived as risk-free, and it also grants them that sense of achievement. My name is Ricardo, and this has been the Sociology Review.